5 US Navy planes take off on a routine training mission and vanish without a trace. No wreckage, no distress signals, no survivors, just silence. This baffling incident, known as Flight 19, marked the beginning of one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. Countless ships and aircraft have entered, never to be seen again. Is it violent weather? Magnetic anomalies? A top-secret government cover-up? Or could the truth be even more disturbing? In this video, we dive into the dark, elusive secrets of the Bermuda Triangle. Stretching across a vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, the Bermuda Triangle, often ominously referred to as the Devil's Triangle, has long been a source of fear, fascination, and speculation. This mysterious region, marked roughly by the points of Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, covers hundreds of thousands of square miles of open water. Yet, despite its picturesque appearance, the area is infamous for something far darker. A chilling reputation as the final stop for numerous ships and aircraft that simply disappeared. Over the past century, more than 50 ships and 20 airplanes have reportedly vanished within these boundaries. Entire crews gone without a trace, no distress calls, no floating debris, just eerie silence. From commercial airliners to military patrols, the list of victims is as diverse as it is unsettling. Compounding the mystery are tales of sudden, violent storms, malfunctioning instruments, and bizarre compass readings that seem to defy the laws of physics. Many theories attempt to explain the triangle's strange occurrences. Some point to natural causes, powerful underwater currents, methane gas eruptions, or rogue waves. Others venture into the realm of the fantastic, time warps, alien abductions, or remnants of lost civilizations. Still, no single explanation has ever fully solved the riddle. But where does this enigma truly begin? Is it just sensational storytelling amplified by media and myth? Or is there something genuinely unexplainable lurking beneath the waves of this infamous region? To answer that, we must go back in time, tracing the earliest accounts, the most documented disappearances, and the science, or lack thereof, behind the legend. Welcome to the heart of the Bermuda Triangle mystery. The truth might be closer than you think, or farther than we can imagine. Flight 19, December 5th, 1945. The most infamous and chilling disappearance associated with the Bermuda Triangle began on a seemingly ordinary afternoon. On December 5th, 1945, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, collectively known as Flight 19, took off from the US Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It was a routine training mission. The sky was mostly clear and the ocean below calm. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, was a seasoned pilot with over 2,500 flying hours. His squadron, made up of 13 young men, also included several World War II veterans. Their task was simple: fly east, drop practice bombs over a shallow reef known as Hens and Chickens Shoals, then continue the exercise in a triangular pattern before returning home. But less than 2 hours into the flight, everything began to unravel. At 3:40 p.m, strange radio transmissions started coming through.
We can't find West. Everything looks strange. We don't know where we are.
Radio operators at the base were confused. How could experienced pilots become so disoriented on a clear day? As the minutes ticked by, the messages grew more frantic.
We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. We can't make out any landmarks.
Despite desperate attempts to triangulate their location, communication was lost. The Navy immediately launched a massive search effort, deploying aircraft and ships to scour the area. One of the rescue planes, a PBM Mariner carrying 13 men, lifted off to search for Flight 19. It vanished too. No wreckage, no oil slicks, no bodies. A total of 6 aircraft and 27 men had disappeared without a trace. The Navy's official report labelled it cause unknown. To this day, Flight 19 remains one of the most baffling aviation mysteries of all time. Some believe magnetic anomalies disoriented the pilots. Others suggest a weather phenomenon or even alien abduction. But no theory fully explains how 6 planes simply ceased to exist. No wreckage ever found, despite decades of advanced underwater exploration. The USS Cyclops, March 1918. Nearly 3 decades before Flight 19, another massive disappearance shocked the US Navy and the world. In March 1918, during World War I, the USS Cyclops, a 542-foot-long Navy collier ship designed to carry coal and supplies, vanished somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean while en route from Barbados to Baltimore. It was one of the largest ships in the Navy at the time, and it was carrying over 11,000 tons of manganese ore, along with a crew of 309 men. The ship had reported engine trouble before departing from Barbados, but nothing serious enough to call for an emergency stop. Its last known position placed it somewhere within the area now known as the Bermuda Triangle. Then, nothing. There was no SOS, no final transmission, and no sign of the ship was ever seen again. No floating debris, no oil slicks, no lifeboats washed ashore. The USS Cyclops had simply vanished. To this day, it remains one of the US Navy's single greatest non-combat losses of life. For over a century, theories have swirled, attempting to explain the Cyclops' sudden vanishing act. Was it a structural failure, a critical flaw in the ship's design that led to its demise? Or perhaps a daring German U-boat attack during a time of conflict, maybe just a sudden, unexpected storm that overwhelmed the vessel. But each of these explanations, upon closer inspection, reveals significant holes. For example, official records show no reports of enemy submarines operating in the area at the time, and the weather was reportedly calm, with clear skies and gentle seas. The ship's robust design and size made it seem unlikely to sink quickly, even in rough conditions. And if it had succumbed to the waves, logic suggests that at least some debris, some sign of its wreckage, would have surfaced eventually. Yet despite extensive search efforts, nothing was ever recovered, no trace of the Cyclops or its crew. Even more bizarre and unsettling, the Cyclops wasn't the only ship of its class to vanish without a trace. Its 2 sister ships, the Proteus and the Nereus, also disappeared years later under eerily similar conditions, both while traveling in or near the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Could this be mere coincidence? A series of unfortunate events? Or does it point to something far more mysterious, something perhaps even supernatural, lurking in the depths of the waters? Bruce Gernon, the survivor who lived to tell the tale. Among all the stories of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle, one man stands out. Not because he vanished, but because he came back to tell the tale. Bruce Gernon, a businessman and experienced pilot, claims to have survived a journey through a mysterious force inside the Bermuda Triangle. His account remains one of the most detailed and widely discussed first-hand experiences tied to the legend. On December 4th, 1970, Gernon, along with his father and business associate, took off from Andros Island in the Bahamas, flying a Beechcraft Bonanza A-36, their destination Palm Beach, Florida. Gernon had flown this route many times before, and the weather was initially calm. But shortly after takeoff, something strange happened. At around 11,500 feet, Gernon noticed a strange elliptical cloud forming directly in front of the aircraft. As he entered the cloud, visibility dropped to near zero. It wasn't a typical thunderstorm, it was silent, still, and dense. Then he saw what he describes as an electronic fog. In his own words, "We were inside a tunnel-shaped vortex. I could see the walls of the cloud curving around us. It felt like we were inside some kind of space-time distortion." As they continued through the tunnel-like cloud, Gernon noticed that all his navigational instruments began to malfunction. The magnetic compass spun uncontrollably. The altimeter fluctuated wildly. Time itself seemed to behave oddly. Then, without warning, the aircraft burst out of the cloud and into clear skies. But something was wrong. According to the flight plan and the aircraft's normal cruising speed, they should have still been over the Bahamas. Instead, they were directly above Miami Beach, a journey that should have taken over 90 minutes, completed in just 45. They hadn't even used enough fuel to explain the speed. Radar operators couldn't explain how the plane had appeared so suddenly in Miami's airspace. Gernon insists they didn't accelerate and they didn't skip any part of the journey. It was as if they had jumped through a wormhole. Skeptics have tried to debunk Gernon's claims. citing navigational errors or unusual wind patterns. But Gernon stands by his story, and to this day he continues to research and speak publicly about what he believes is a natural but poorly understood phenomenon he calls electronic fog, a type of atmospheric distortion that could explain many of the triangle's mysteries. One of the most widely accepted explanations among scientists involves powerful and unpredictable forces of nature. The Bermuda Triangle is not just a mysterious shape on a map, it lies in a region that is geologically and meteorologically volatile. Sudden storms can appear without warning, fueled by the warm, moist air of the Gulf Stream colliding with cold fronts from the north. These storms can bring with them violent downdrafts, torrential rain, lightning and waterspouts, essentially tornadoes on the ocean. But even more chilling is the idea of rogue waves, giant walls of water that can reach heights of over 100 feet. These aren't just rare myths. Satellite data has confirmed their existence. In the open sea, such waves can strike unexpectedly, capable of splitting a ship in half or forcing an aircraft into the ocean within seconds. Then there are methane hydrate eruptions, pockets of gas trapped beneath the seafloor. If these gas deposits suddenly rupture, they can create a frothy mixture on the ocean's surface that reduces water density, potentially sinking a ship without warning. A vessel that loses buoyancy in this way might sink straight down without leaving a trace or time to send a distress signal. Add to that the deep-sea trenches and shifting tectonic plates, and it's clear the Bermuda Triangle may simply be a perfect storm of natural dangers. But if nature is to blame, why do these conditions seem to target specific flights and voyages, many of them in clear weather and routine paths? Magnetic anomalies, a compass gone mad. Another scientific explanation dives deeper into Earth's magnetic field. Navigators have long known that the Bermuda Triangle lies near one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align. This can cause compasses to behave unpredictably, especially in older analog systems. When pilots rely on compasses to navigate, especially over water where there are no landmarks, even a few degrees of error can steer them miles off course. In fact, several recorded cases report pilots becoming disoriented and circling aimlessly, insisting that everything looks strange or the ocean doesn't look right. Some experts suggest this may be a result of magnetic deviation, where solar storms or unusual rock formations beneath the ocean floor interfere with magnetic instruments. But here's where the theory becomes even stranger. Modern aircraft and ships are equipped with GPS and satellite navigation, yet incidents have still occurred. Could there be localized magnetic fields powerful enough to short-circuit or scramble even digital technology? No conclusive evidence exists, but the idea of a magnetically distorted region, hidden beneath the sea, continues to intrigue geophysicists and conspiracy theorists alike. Human error and technology failures, the fallibility factor. While mysterious disappearances make headlines, many researchers argue that the most logical explanation is also the simplest: human error. The vastness of the ocean, poor visibility, storms, and the psychological toll of flying or sailing over endless blue can easily disorient even trained professionals. In the case of Flight 19, for instance, investigators suggested that Lieutenant Taylor may have mistaken the Bahamas for the Florida Keys, throwing off the entire squadron's navigation. Fatigue, miscommunication, and mechanical failures, especially in earlier decades when navigation tools were less precise, can turn a minor mistake into a catastrophe. Add in limited fuel, panic setting in, and rapidly deteriorating visibility, and tragedy becomes all the more likely. These factors can quickly overwhelm even the most experienced pilots. Then there's the ever-present possibility of technological failure. From faulty altimeters providing incorrect readings to frustrating radio interference, malfunctions can compound rapidly in moments of crisis, leaving crews disoriented and vulnerable. And in many unfortunate cases, there simply may not have been sufficient time to send out a distress signal before the aircraft or vessel was tragically lost to the elements. Still, critics of this human error theory rightfully argue, If human error is indeed to blame, why do these unfortunate mistakes cluster so heavily inside such a specific and relatively small region? Why do similar missions and routine flights outside the confines of the Triangle not seem to suffer the same devastating fate nearly as often? While it may not fully explain every single disappearance, it does serve to remind us that both the sea and the sky remain relentlessly unforgiving environments, where even the smallest slip or miscalculation can mean the ultimate difference between life and death. 4. Extraterrestrials and time warp theories, stranger than fiction. If natural forces and human error fall short of a full explanation, then we begin to enter a more speculative, some would say, outlandish realm of thought. Over the years, countless authors, investigators, and conspiracy theorists have suggested that the Bermuda Triangle might be a portal to another dimension, a rift in the fabric of space-time. Some suggest that aircraft and ships didn't crash at all. They were simply pulled into another reality, a time warp, a wormhole, a glitch in the Matrix. These ideas may sound like science fiction, but they persist because they often align eerily with survivor accounts. Bruce Gernon, for example, vividly described encountering a bizarre tunnel of clouds and experiencing a significant loss of time, a story that is surprisingly echoed by other pilots and travelers who have journeyed through the area. Then there's the ever-intriguing extraterrestrial angle, a perspective that captures the imagination. Some passionately believe that the Triangle is not just a geographical anomaly, but a hotspot for alien activity, perhaps even a kind of cosmic testing zone or observation point for UFOs, radar blackouts that defy explanation, vanishing signals leaving no trace, unidentified glowing objects seen in the sky just moments before disappearances occur. Could it be that unknown extraterrestrial entities are actively observing, or even abducting, those who dare to enter the perilous depths of the Triangle? Skeptics often dismiss these extraordinary theories as mere fantasy, fueled by sensationalized movies and media hype. But others argue that when conventional science falls short and cannot fully explain the perplexing phenomena, we must remain open-minded and consider unconventional possibilities. And while no concrete hard proof has ever been definitively presented to validate either alien abduction scenarios or the existence of interdimensional portals, the sheer consistency and volume of strange eyewitness accounts continues to keep these captivating theories alive and well within the public imagination. 5. Government cover-ups, secrets beneath the surface. The final theory ventures into the shadows, into the realm of secrecy, intelligence, and hidden agendas. Some researchers believe the Bermuda Triangle is not just mysterious, it's intentionally hidden from the public eye. During the Cold War, the US government conducted classified tests of submarines, sonar, radar, and advanced aircraft in areas near or inside the Bermuda Triangle. Declassified documents reveal strange radio frequencies, failed experiments, and even lost prototypes. Could it be that some of the missing planes and ships were collateral damage in these tests? Others go further, suggesting underwater bases, electromagnetic weapons, or even remnants of Atlantis buried beneath the sea. Ancient technology still active and dangerous. While these ideas sound far-fetched, it's true that the US military has always had a significant presence in the region, with sites like Ortec, Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center, in the Bahamas, often referred to as the Navy's Area 51 of the Atlantic. Are we being told the whole truth? Or are certain details being deliberately obscured to maintain national security, or something deeper? While no government has confirmed involvement in Bermuda Triangle incidents, the classified nature of military activity leaves room for doubt and suspicion. Conclusion: natural chaos, magnetic disturbances, human fallibility, aliens, cover-ups. Each theory offers a piece of the puzzle, but none fit perfectly. Some vanishings may be due to storms or equipment failure, others perhaps to navigational confusion, yet certain cases, like Flight 19 or the USS Cyclops, remain too strange, too clean, too complete to be easily explained. What makes the Bermuda Triangle truly fascinating is this blend of fact and fear, science and speculation. The deeper we look, the more questions we uncover, and maybe, just maybe, the answers lie not in choosing one theory, but in accepting that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. After decades of study, the Bermuda Triangle remains a puzzle, a place where science, myth and fear collide. Maybe there's no single explanation, or maybe the answers lie beneath the surface waiting to be found. What do you believe? A natural danger zone? Or a supernatural force beyond human understanding?
Thank you for watching. Comment below what historic archive you want to explore next, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.